What if you could become a better person, not by working harder, but by taking one small step a day? And not because you're a bad person now, but because there's something inside you that's ready for more. How to be a better person gives you one tiny step a day you can take to be the person you want to be. My mission? To help you live your best life. Hi, and welcome to the How to Be a Better Person podcast. I'm Kate, your host, and I'm here to help you make that little thought that says, I want to be a better person, real. Today's episode is airing on Monday, December 2nd. It's the first day back after the long Thanksgiving weekend here in the States. I hope you've had ample time to feast and digest the feast, to be with people you love, and to have some downtime to take care of whatever personal biz needs attending to in your life. On Mondays here at How to Be a Better Person, I talk about all things mindset and motivation. Because as much as you need practical tips and strategies, if your thoughts are working against you, you're going to have to work a lot harder to get the results you want, and those efforts will take more of a toll on you, and not in a good way. Today's tip is something to reach for when something you're working on or toward isn't going as you'd like, and you're starting to get frustrated, or angry, or dispirited in some way. And that tip is to remember that all you have to do in that moment is shift the dynamic. You generally don't have to figure things out and solve the problem right then and there. You just have to interrupt the pattern. Albert Einstein said, "You can't solve a problem with the same thinking that created it." Shifting the dynamic is how you facilitate thinking differently. It changes the energy, and that changes your feelings and your thoughts. And man, is that a relief! Typically, when we're facing a problem, we get locked into a groove, and the insight we need is not in the groove, it is outside the groove. And the way to get yourself out of that well-worn, claustrophobic groove is to shift the dynamic. How do you do that? Well, if you're in the house, get out of the house. If you're sitting, stand up. If you're locked in a battle of wills with your child, not that I would know anything about that, get them to talk to someone else. If you're having a tough email exchange, pick up the phone. If you've been working diligently on something every day and you're not getting the results you want, take the day off. If you've been avoiding something and it's bringing you down, sit down and work on it, just for 15 minutes, and shift the dynamic. However you've been zigging, try zagging. Shifting the dynamic helps you be a better person because it gets you out of ruts. It lowers your frustration level, and it helps you move through obstacles more quickly. One note of caution. You don't want to be leapfrogging all over the place, shifting the dynamic the very second things start to slow down. Of course, there's value in persistence and consistency. Shifting the dynamic is for when things have gotten tough and you've already conscientiously tried to power through or take a different tack, and you're still feeling stuck. It's not the first tool you reach for. That first tool might be empathy or clearer communication or lowering expectations. Shifting the dynamic comes into play after these primary tools didn't quite get the result you wanted. What shifting the dynamic is not about is distraction. Here's an example of what I mean. When babies are crying, people will often jiggle a toy in front of them to try and distract them from whatever's making them want to cry. There's a time and a place for that, but sometimes babies just need to cry. And sometimes we need to struggle a little bit to stick with something after it starts to get hard. But if your situation is becoming the equivalent of an inconsolable baby, it's time to shift the dynamic. Once you've done that, you see things differently. It opens your pressure valve so some of that tension that's been building can dissipate. It's kind of like getting ready to go on vacation. Your stress levels rise as you try to get everything done you need to do before you go. And then once you get on the plane or the train or the bus or the car, you're like, much better. But it doesn't take as dramatic of a shift in scenery as going on vacation. The fun part is you get to experiment with the best ways to shift whatever dynamic you've gotten locked into. It's also a huge relief to know that you don't have to solve everything in the moment. You just have to reroute the energy, and then solutions will arise much more easily all on their own. I hope you'll have fun with this one. Is your book group looking for a book to read in January? The book this podcast is based on, How to Be a Better Person, is a great way to lead off a conversation on what being a better person means to everyone in the group and what each person would like to commit to doing more of in the new year. I love to join book group meetings via Zoom or Skype if our scheduling aligns. If you do select it to read with your book group, email me using the Contact Kate button on beabetterpersonpodcast.com and let me know. Thanks for listening to How to Be a Better Person. Our theme song is Left for Deadish by Junior85. The podcast is mixed by Sound Advice Strategies. If you liked what you heard in this episode, share it with someone you think would like it too. Your voice matters. Also, How to Be a Better Person has an official newsletter that sends the past 7 episodes, a sneak peek of the week ahead, and one well-chosen meme to your inbox every Saturday morning. Sign up at beabetterpersonpodcast.com and click on Get Podcast News. I also love to hear from listeners. I love it. Send me an email by clicking on the Contact Kate button at beabetterpersonpodcast.com. Tweet me at KateHan, KateHan, or find me on Instagram at Kate Hanley Author. I look forward to connecting with you.